Timeless. It's a statement piece. The technology in Timeless is unprecedented, it's unique, it's innovative, it's industry leading. You're going to see the most powerful symmetrical weight blocks mixed with our most successful cover stock. The pins have no chance. This is why the ball is timeless.
And live from Middletown, Delaware at the Mid-County Lanes is the PBA Xtra Frame Gene Carter's Pro Shop Classic. It's part of the 2017 PBA Storm Cup Xtra Frame, and it's time for the Stepladder Finals. I'm Chris Sedenka, along with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. And Randy, what a foursome we have here tonight. Two Players of the Year and two newcomers to the Stepladder. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You have your reigning Player of the Year in EJ Tackett, former Player of the Year Sean Rash, your #1 seed, and two players that are making the Stepladder Finals for the very first time. So nerves are definitely going to be a factor for those two newcomers, but four extremely talented players on tap tonight.
You mentioned the nerves. I'll say, though, throughout that match play round, the two kids did a pretty good job.
Well, they hung in there. You know, Andrew Anderson had a nice lead in terms of making the Stepladder Finals, but I think Alex Cavagnaro bowled beautifully against Bill O'Neill. Bill O'Neill struggled on lane 13, as everybody did, and he made two of the best shots I've ever seen on that lane. Bill O'Neill one flat 10 pin away from being on the Stepladder Finals, but Alex Cavagnaro, he fought his way through, found a way to get there, won that position round match against O'Neill. He's in the top four.
And his award, EJ Tackett.
Reigning Player of the Year, hottest player on the planet, leading the Storm Cup point race. EJ trying to extend his lead, and with a win, could just about wrap it up.
We saw obviously very difficult lane conditions as it broke down. However, much different here for the finals.
Yeah, we've got fresh oil now, and I think the players are going to break the lanes down in such a way to where we're going to have some pretty good scores here for the Stepladder Finals.
And, of course, this is part of the Storm Cup. EJ Tackett with a chance really to build that lead even more going into next week's final.
Well, in doing the simple math, he was 2 points ahead of Marshall Kent. If he wins today, does he lock it up? I think he does.
That's a good question. I think with the 25, yeah, that would do it because
right?
of that is, of course, yeah, we're mathematicsions.
Yeah,
I mean, sure, yes, that'll do it.
I'm not really good
Up
at
by
math.
2, 25, that would do it. Yeah.
I was told there would be no math. Yeah.
Of course. With that, we are getting ready to roll here. Once again, it is time for the first match. Alex Cavagnaro, the 3 seed, taking on EJ Tackett, live from Mid-County Lanes. It is the Stepladder final of the Gene Carter's Pro Shop Classic right here on Xtra Frame. EJ Tackett will start us off. Leaving the 10 on that first shot.
It was just a practice shot, so it's
okay.
It's okay. You know, I think the one thing that needs to be mentioned is the fact that these four players started at 9 o'clock this morning. And so it was 4 games in the cashers round and then 12 games of match play. So 16 games already. The 45-minute break after they got done in position round. And so this is basically a marathon for these players. So the next time somebody tells you that bowling isn't a sport, ask them to go out and bowl 16 games and then a little Stepladder Finals, and then call me in the morning. Let me know how you feel.
Well, and as you said, Randy, in different conditions throughout the day, too. Yesterday, you had 5 to a pairing, and then today in the early morning, the cashers round is either 3 or 4 to a pairing, then, of course, the match play. So completely different conditions throughout these last 2 days.
Lots and lots of games. I'm being told that there is a roll-off for the 3rd and 4th position. I just got a text from Brett Spangler. Hey, Brett, this is a roll-off? I'm sorry. Say again.
Oh, okay. So this has
So
been
so
part of it.
this is a roll-off. They tied for 2 shots. Hey, listen. Nobody ever tells me anything. EJ, are you guys tied? Did he go Brooklyn to tie you again?
This may never end. They might
Brett,
get a whole
Brett,
game in.
All right, so there was a scoring error. They actually tied for. All right, and so basically all this is going to determine is the player that gets to determine the starting position for this opening match. And it's a one-ball roll-off, and these guys won't stop striking, so this could take into February of next year.
Well, I believe that just did it.
I think that's it.
Yep.
I think EJ's your number 3 seed now, and yes, he is. EJ will get choice of starting lane, and we are getting ready to roll as Jeff Goodger is getting ready to drink poison.
So with that, Randy, welcome to
Where's my phone?
the Mid-County Lanes as we finally get back underway.
All right.
So with that roll-off, EJ Tackett will be your 3 seed. And all eyes on Alex Cavagnaro. Brooklyn native, grew up though, and lives in Long Island, New York.
And Brett Spangler giving me a little update on the equipment that EJ Tackett's going to use. It is a slow response symmetrical. Brett, give me the name of the ball.
Tackett and Cavagnaro making sure that everything is ready to go. And now tournament director will make the noise. And we are finally underway here from Mid-County Lanes in Middletown, Delaware for the Gene Carter's Pro Shop Classic. It is the Stepladder.
And it looks like Cavagnaro using phase 2, which is what he's pretty much used the entire week. Brett Spangler telling me that EJ Tackett's going to go with the Forza SS, EJ's favorite core.
Alex showing no nerves on that first shot, Randy.
And there you see it.
Crowd into it early is EJ Tackett.
And speaking of no nerves.
Which is pretty much his nickname at this point.
No, his nickname
actually,
is
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
That's right. I should stop lying.
Which, quite honestly, squirrels are, to me, extremely nervous. They're real twitchy.
I'm not sure they're very bright either.
I don't even know where to go with that comment.
That's why I say we need to change his nickname.
All right, you work on EJ's new nickname. Get back to me on that.
A little bit through the nose there for EJ.
You know, when you look at EJ Tackett's style, it's so 2017. The open body, the out-to-in swing, the high rev rate. Hand is so far underneath the bowling ball. Leverage positions, amazing. And he's thrown 16 pounds.
Just simply incredible when you look at the frame.
He's a heck of an athlete, a tremendous golfer. He's just a great athlete. But I'll tell you what, I'm real impressed with Alex Cavagnaro's swing, his game. It's beautiful to watch, just so simple looking. When he throws a bowling ball, the ball looks like it weighs about 6 pounds. Beautiful out-to-in swing.
And he'll come back in. He was able to defeat, Bill O'Neill on these lanes. Of course, the oil condition much different at the end of those match play rounds than we're seeing now.
It's easy for you to say. You're not going to catch any slack on Xtra Frame with me, pal, just because you're the new guy. Come on, you're a professional broadcaster. Let's go.
Doesn't mean I can speak well.
Step up your game. It's nice meeting you, Chris.
Likewise. So the early open for Cavagnaro. EJ with the strike spared open, and Cavagnaro is going to try to get back on form here in frame 3.
And the last thing you want to do when going up against the reigning player of the year, your first time in a stepladder finals, is give him an opening. And we'll see how Alex rebounds. He's done it nicely all weekend long. Same exact shot.
Yep. Speaking of all weekend long, you can probably hear them. We have had great crowds here at Mid-County Lanes throughout. Always one of the more popular events here on the East Coast.
This young man actually suffered 2 chipped bones in his right hand on July 4th. Part-timer, likes to be a part-timer, bowls just about every weekend. Unlucky. He used to be a pro shop operator. Also lists professional poker as one of his hobbies. Won a tournament at the Borgata in Atlantic City not too long ago. Originally from Brooklyn, now living in Long Island. But he just gave this man 2 huge openings.
And EJ Tackett, no surprise there, the assassin.
You know, when I watch EJ Tackett bowl, Chris, he reminds me of a guy whose pillow is cool on both sides.
That would be nice. Should invent that.
Beautiful shot there by EJ Tackett. Won in Japan, won the Tournament of Champions. Won main event. A little throw from the peanut gallery.
Nice shot by EJ.
Boom goes the dynamite. 8 titles for EJ, 2 majors, just turned 25. I'm not sure how many times in the history of the Professional Bowlers Association that any announcer has been able to say that.
Big frame here. Seven stands. Going back to Tackett, a lot of that the last couple of years, though, Randy. Have you seen a difference in his game? Is it just it's all come together?
I haven't seen a difference in his game. I've seen a difference in his mentality. It's all about confidence. He's already had the physicality. He's already had the game. And all of a sudden he matched the mental prowess to go with that, and that's a lethal combination.
Does hold on. Talk so much about mental toughness. Alex Cavagnaro with that history, as you mentioned, as a poker player. I want to talk about a mental game. There's one right there.
You know, and it's all situational. This is a part of this sport that Alex hasn't experienced before at this level.
There's that roll you were talking about in the match play rounds. A sweet, sweet swing. As we see it again.
Open body, hand on the outside of the ball, top of the backswing, swing out to in. Beautiful game. Real soft hand at the bottom of the swing. This guy here, there's nothing soft about it. He just plows on it.
Working on a double.
Moved in. Oh, my Lord.
Wow. How did that not fall?
Apparently the Pins don't know that that's the reigning player of the year.
See if we can see a little bit better from the side angle. Oh.
That's just dirty. Look out. Well, the last thing you want to do is give your opponent hope. And that missed single pin spare does exactly that.
We're you see there, Randy?
Missed target left.
Yep. Jay looking to bounce back off that miss and leave.
You know, if this was me and I threw this shot, I would have left the 2, 4, 8, 10. EJ just leaves the 8 pin.
Cleans it up this time. But as you said, a little bit of life here for Alex. Cavagnaro for the double.
And there you go. That's exactly what we're talking about. One more strike, he pulls to within 2.
Winner will take on Andrew Anderson. Of course, the 1 seed, Sean Rash, still to come in our step ladder final here at Mid-County Lanes in Middletown, Delaware.
The last thing you can give your opponent is hope, especially when you have a lead. You have to get on him and stay on him and impose your will. You cannot give him any breathing room. Alex Cavagnaro can pull to within 2 with a strike here. Wide, gets back.
And he's within 2. EJ Tackett is our Storm Cups points leader, as we talked about. 64 points entering in this tournament. Marshall Kent will pick up 7 this weekend. So technically he is in the lead with 69. EJ Tackett, though, with a chance, if he wins this tournament, 25, 19 for second, 18 for third, 17 for fourth. And the 7 stays.
Well, carry not very good for EJ Tackett the last 3 frames. He's moved in quite a bit since the start of this game. Remember, he missed 7 pin back in frame 5. Not this time.
Nope. Quicker than you expected on the adjustments?
I mean, yes. I mean, hard for me to believe that the lanes would break down that fast. It almost looks like Alex moved right and EJ moved left. After Alex's 2 washouts, it looked like he tightened his angle up.
And there it is for EJ.
And EJ Tackett strikes in the 8th frame and turns around and yells, "Release me from my dirty cage." Beautiful shot here, kicks the 10 out, and it could have very well easily have been a 4-bag, or excuse me, a 6-bagger for EJ Tackett with those 9s there in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Now, Alex Cavagnaro working on 3 in a row.
And make it 4 in a row for Cavagnaro's first time in a step ladder final.
Great pin action on that last shot. Watch the 7 and the 10 go late. Just inside second arrow. He's got such a good hand at the bottom of the swing.
Cavagnaro looking for 5 in a row into the 10th. A little bit on the nose. And the 9 stays.
A little bit of EJ Tackett medicine with the solid 9.
It's just come over a little bit too quick.
It was just a pinch high.
Talking about the Storm Cup points, should mention Dom Barrett with his finish. Actually surpassing Marshall Kent. He's now up to 74 points.
Well, let's talk how significant that 9-pin is.
Yep.
EJ Tackett can now strike out in the 9th and 10th and shut out Alex Cavagnaro. If Alex would have struck there, there was nothing EJ Tackett could have done.
Probably the last guy you want to give life to.
Hasn't missed the pocket since frame 3. Unless you want to count the little light 8-pin.
That's 7-pin once again.
Unreal.
Is that 3 in a row in that lane?
3 7-pins in succession on lane 14. And now EJ Tackett, max score with a spare here is 206.
EJ the first to go in the 10th frame. So either way, there's going to be some serious nerves coming up for Alex Cavagnaro. And the strike's first ball.
EJ needs another strike in 9 to force Alex to double in the 10th. Has not missed the pocket since the 2nd frame, where he went high. Everything else has been in the pocket. It's got 1 double to show for it.
EJ with a re-rack. Getting ready for that 2nd throw here in the 10th frame. First game of our stepladder.
Gotta have it.
And he's got it.
The next number is 9. If he gets 8, Alex can go strike, spare in the 10th, and we have a tie. If he gets 9, Alex will need a double.
So you're saying we could have a bowl off to begin and a bowl off to end? EJ again taking his time here in this final throw of game 1 for him. And EJ triples out.
Yeah, and as his opponent, Alex had to expect that. And you just have to prepare yourself. The thing is that Alex sat for a long time in the 9th and 10th frame. But you knew that EJ was going to do exactly what he did. You were just hoping he didn't strike in the 9th and shut you out.
So he does have an opportunity. Alex will
Beautiful.
drop the 10.
Got to have the next one. One more strike, and he will take on newcomer Andrew Anderson and take down the reigning player of the year.
Andrew Anderson and then Sean Rash, our #1 ranked player here this evening.
Looks good.
Gotta have it. Oh, the messenger just misses. Unbelievable. Nice hand for Alex Cavagnaro. And he's just going to come up short, Randy. Even with that, you impressed by this kid this weekend?
Well, without question, but right here he catches the E.J. Tackett break. Great shot, terrible break, but E.J. had a handful of that in game 1. And the difference in match #1, pin carry.
E.J. Tackett is your winner, 206-204 over Alex Cavagnaro. He will now face Andrew Anderson. And welcome back to Middletown, Delaware. It's now time for E.J. Tackett, #3, taking on another one of those youngsters, Randy. Randy Peterson by my side. I'm Chris Sedenka. Andrew Anderson in his first opportunity. Stepladder final as well. And, well, what's he get? E.J. Tackett.
Yeah, he's got nerves going, and then he's bowling a guy that's coming off of a win, and he's got all the confidence in the world, knows exactly what the lanes are giving him. It's going to be a tough task for Andrew.
Andrew very consistent today and stayed at the top really until right at the end where Sean Rash was able to get him. The last couple rounds of match play, including position round, where Sean Rash was able to take him down in that final one. But all in all, pretty nice day and pretty nice weekend so far for Mr. Anderson.
Well, he's a really good bowler. I mean, he's a 3-time Team USA member. He's got 2 regional wins, 1 as a non-member. Joined the PBA Tour in January and finished 6th at the Players' Championship.
Lengthy frame. First ball in is a strike.
Right now, as a newcomer to this portion of the tournament, you're trying to keep the insides from ending up on the outside, getting your feet underneath you for the first couple of shots. And anybody that tells you, no, I won't be nervous, they're lying. You're going to be nervous. You just have to somehow find a way to manage the nerves well enough to allow you to pry it off your hand and keep the ball on the lane. Bad shot. He knows it.
Leaves the 2. You still remember those nerves you had
Oh,
first
gosh,
time on
yeah.
TV?
I was nervous every time I was on TV, and television was one of my most comfortable places to be. I loved bowling on television. There was just something about the adrenaline rush.
And a shot there by Anderson.
I always thought it was way better adrenaline rush than, say, jumping out of an airplane, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Who would jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Now, if it was a bad airplane, I see it. I get that. But a perfectly good airplane and you decide to jump? Sorry.
I'm with you there. E.J. Tackett looking for 2 to start, and he's got it.
And as long as E.J. follows the transition appropriately, I'm not sure he's going to miss the pocket. We've already seen him migrate left and more towards the center part of the lane. Midway through game 1, he's just going to continue to do the same. And as long as he stays on top of the moves and executes, he's going to be a handful for anyone.
Tackett will start with a triple.
And that's exactly what you want to do to a newcomer to a Stepladder finals. E.J. Tackett gets off to the perfect start.
Nice little kiss there at the end on the 9.
I think that was the vortex of the ball that actually pulled it off the lane. Okay, no, it was actually the ball that hit it.
Must be the eclipse.
That's tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Leaves that same pin.
The difference in power showing itself immediately. When Anderson gets it to that spot, it goes 2-pin. When EJ gets it to that spot, it goes flush. Actually, it looked like he may have missed that a little bit at the bottom as well, based on the direction his follow-through went in. And with each shot that doesn't strike, and with each shot that EJ strikes, well, you start to sweat.
Sure.
Next thing you know, you're halfway through the game, you're sweating like Shaquille O'Neal at the free throw line, and then it becomes very hard to pry it off. Better shot.
Ooh, came over.
And it looked like that time he tried to make sure that he got it and got it inside of target and went high.
Andrew Anderson from Holly, Michigan. Trying to hang in this battle with EJ Tackett. Anderson gets that, but Randy, you have to imagine that EJ Tackett smells blood.
Right now, he's like a bulldog on a pork chop. You kidding me? This guy's salivating. It's exactly what you want. Guy with all the confidence in the world, reigning player of the year. The lanes are transitioning to where he can just play his strengths, move in, and just bang on it harder. Got it in. Yep. Left of target. It's okay, no split. Just the 3-6. But this is definitely left of target. That was closer to fourth arrow than any shot he's thrown tonight.
Winner to get Sean Rash in the final of our stepladder. In this penultimate championship of the Storm Cup. EJ Tackett can all but put away if he wins here tonight. He'll be headed to Ohio next week for the final Storm Cup of the year right here on Xtra Frame. Tackett. And
he's okay with that. You give it the surrender sign with the hands after a shot, you're okay with that. And here, wait for it, there it is. That's the okay. A little surprised at the execution on the last two shots by EJ. But it just goes to show you that he is indeed human.
Andrew Anderson, if he wants to make a charge, it's got to start here.
Ooh, not good.
Another look.
Oh, good try.
Good effort. Good effort.
And the lead increases for Tackett.
other split.
Yeah, EJ's going to bowl for the title. And getting back to our Open, so if EJ does win, he does not secure the Storm Cup point race because it would be based on where he finishes next week. Does it matter? So he gets 25 points if he wins. That's 89. If he gets no points next week, where's Marshall Kent at now?
Barrett's at 74, so Barrett could get him.
Of course.
Yep, Kent could get him. Yep.
So
we didn't take into account what the other gentleman had gotten
exactly.
this week.
So we didn't factor in what the other players have made this week, and so EJ Tackett still has to show up and still has to have a good showing next week. And quite honestly, he still has to bowl Sean Rash for the title.
Great shot there.
So
I got to blame our producers for that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of scenarios, and until we get an updated point list based on where Marshall Kent finished, based on where Don Barrett finished.
So Barrett was 74 after today. Kent has 69. That's updated. EJ Tackett right now is 64.
Right.
And
So
Dick Allen was 68.
Right. We haven't given EJ any points yet.
Correct.
But again, there's still. It looks like now it's a 4-player race with Dick Allen, Don Barrett, Marshall Kent, and EJ Tackett.
Yep.
But EJ Tackett could certainly make things a lot easier in his quest for the Storm Cup.
Well, at this point, it looks like EJ Tackett will have either 19 or 25 after today, depending on what happens. As Tackett.
Come on.
What is that?
EJ, stop it. You're better than that. Look at him. He's like, what are you doing?
He knows.
Max score for Andrew Anderson, 211. EJ Tackett's at 205 right now. That wasn't me, and it wasn't Chris.
Wasn't me.
And it wasn't Phil.
That's Jeff.
The announce booth is off the hook. We are now going to announce this next shot like we were doing golf. Andrew Anderson stepping up, 7th frame, working on an open.
Can I do a British accent?
Yes.
Oh, and he gets the touch.
It's a magnificent shot on the right line, tripping the tee forward. That was a terrible British accent that I just laid down on you.
Is that half Irish? Is that what you're trying to
I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
But this is a nice break, but I'll tell you, I'm not real impressed with Andrew's ball reaction. And I think if you were going to bet on this game right now, I think pretty much everybody in the building would be betting on EJ Tackett. And that's not to take anything away from Andrew. That's just score and ball reaction.
Anderson with a double, though. He's keeping it interesting.
A sliver of hope. This kid's got a beautiful game. Just a great swing, great lines. And he knows how to bowl. And we're seeing that more and more today where these youngsters coming out on the PBA Tour with just incredible amounts of talent. I mean, this guy just turned 25.
It's unbelievable. And, the messenger coming over with help.
That is just filthy. That messenger there was pretty nasty. Watch this. I threw a messenger like this once, and then I woke up. That's just dirty. Right now, EJ Tackett looking to take Andrew to the shed.
Tackett looking for the double, and how about a messenger again? Oh! That's like a bounce pass over there.
I am
Puppy
the
skip over.
I am the king of my castle.
Pin action to a whole new level, E.J. Tackett.
It's the only guy that uses his thumb, in my opinion, that rivals the two-handers out here in terms of power. That needs to hook.
Oh, hey, wait, and oh! Anderson, talk about pin action, and the messenger falls.
Andrew looked over at EJ and he says, well, listen, it's not near as fast as yours, but it's still kind of a messenger. See, that looks more like my messenger. Yeah. Still got a ball game, folks.
Takes a triple into the 10th.
If he doesn't strike here, EJ Tackett bowls against Sean Rash for the title.
Needs 10. Oh, wow.
Things are getting interesting.
Another look at this one. Looked like it was going a little too far.
Next strike in count forces EJ Tackett to mark.
These kids have not quit here today. It's funny calling these guys kids, and EJ Tackett's what, 25, as you said?
He's a kid.
Yep.
The oldest player on the, or in the Stepladder finals, I believe, is Sean Rash. Alex Cavagnaro is 33. Got to have it. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Another look at this one as the messenger came over.
That was actually a really good messenger. And goes in front of the 10. EJ Tackett, 9 first ball wins.
And Anderson will finish up with a 200.
If EJ gets 8 on this ball, he'll need to get 1 more to win by 1. Strike, obviously, it's over.
EJ Tackett looking to get to the final to take on Sean Rash.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, and it does hold on, and he gets the strike. And E.J. Tackett.
It was a little faster. It was left of target, a little faster, a little loft, and it just laid there like a 3-legged dog.
So we Rash and Tackett in the final here, Randy.
Reigning Player of the Year versus former Player of the Year. Ball change to see what it's got. And probably won't go with that as it labors a little bit down the lane, leaving that soft 10.
So again, we'll have E.J. Tackett and Sean Rash in the final at the Gene Carter's Pro Shop Classic right here in Middletown, Delaware, part of the PBA Storm Cup right here on Xtra Frame. And welcome back as we get ready for the final of the Gene Carter's Pro Shop Classic. Final part of the Stepladder, Chris Sedanka. And PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson with you. And it is a heavyweight matchup here in the final, Randy, as we see E.J. Tackett, who started as the 3 seed after a roll-off, taking on the number 1 seed, Sean Rash, for all the marbles here tonight from Middletown, Delaware, and Mid-County Lanes.
EJ Tackett is making a ball change. It's the same ball that he was using, but a different layout. Sean Rash, according to Chuck Gardner, is going to go with an edge pearl pin down. Eesh.
Messenger cleaned out on that one. So Tackett starting with that 9, leaving the 7. And Randy, I believe we can say this for certainty, that if EJ wins, he has to finish 10th or better next week, and he will be the Storm Cup champion. If he comes in second to Sean Rash, he would have to finish 5th or better.
You are correct, my friend.
We got all of the geniuses together to figure that out, and I think we're all set.
Actually, it was just one genius. It was Phil Brylow that came up with all those numbers for us, as the three of us are much too busy to be able to try to figure out all those numbers.
Very true.
So, Randy Peterson, Jeff Goodger, and our new friend Chris.
Thank you.
Manning the comm. You now have the comm, sir. Sean Rash, tournament leader.
All right, one time. Oh.
And Sean will open with a split. Sean looking for his first win since a back-to-back last year.
Won back-to-back last year in Detroit, winning the Badger and then Detroit Open. 11 career titles, 2 majors, future Hall of Famer.
And as you mentioned, former Player of the Year, taking on the reigning Player of the Year.
Former member of the Shockers, Wichita State. I don't know how many times he's been a member of Team USA. A bunch. And we've already mentioned the former Player of the Year. And I'm not even worried about that start. I don't think Sean is either.
One time. Yeah, baby.
Didn't seem like it on that throw as Sean Rash with the strike in the second.
No, not even worried about it, and I'll tell you why. So he comes back with a great shot here. In the next shot on lane 14, he's going to move. And if that goes through the nose, then it's time to start worrying. I've got a great nickname for him instead of Squirrel. You ready for it?
Hit us.
I'll give it to you on a strike. Oh my goodness. Did you see that ring in 10? That wasn't even a normal ring in 10. Watch how it goes like up and around the top of the 10 pin. Watch this. 6 pin. Ooh. That was so violent. I won't give you the nickname until his next strike.
Fair enough. Just hope you didn't jinx him. That's that right side on that spare. A little bit of a smile there from EJ Tackett.
I'll tell you what, if you took away the mustache and goatee combination on EJ, he looked like he was 14. I think there's a lot of folks watching right now that would agree with that. God, I so want to give you this new nickname. You ready?
Let's hear it.
EJ Tackett.
Oh,
Tackett.
Wow, that is dangerous.
You know, you've got Wes Strike a lot, Malott, and now you've got EJ Tackett. Tackett.
I don't even know if you have to say Tackett. I think you just say EJ.
Tackett.
Tackett. Yeah.
That's even better than mine.
Yeah.
That's way better.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Second chance on 14 for Sean Rash.
Yeah.
Now he makes the move, goes trip 4. That is a huge break. He's going to move again on that lane. We talk about equipment. EJ goes to the same ball, but he goes to a pin-up version. Sean using the edge pearl pin down. What is the significance in those two different layouts?
Please tell me.
The pin up is going to travel longer before it makes its break. The pin down is going to read sooner.
One time. Oh.
It looked left, and it was.
Based on what you have seen, and perhaps it's just based on bowler style, what would you prefer? Pin up, pin down?
It's based on rev rate and rotation. I mean, it's all in how the player is reading the ball reaction and what he's trying to get the ball to do. Obviously, Sean is looking to get his ball to read a little bit sooner. He's got a little lower rev rate than EJ Tackett. EJ is trying to get his ball down the lane and then come around the corner, much higher rev rate. If EJ were to use a pin down right now, it would probably read too early and burn up. Both layouts work.
EJ that time cleans it out. And EJ Tackett with a double going into the 5th.
Not really sure how to comment on this pin carry. the 4-7-10 was standing, and then it's gone. And he kind of gave you that same impression by that reaction. Oh, okay, whatever.
Oh, what movement there. And dare I say he attacked that one. Or he attacked it, sorry. I screwed that up.
Sure did.
Yeah.
And right now, E.J. Tackett is looking to further his resume for back-to-back Player of the Year honors. I believe he has 3 victories already this season. Japan, an Xtra Frame event, the main event, looking to add to it. Wow. Looked like the 7-pin was going to stand, and all of a sudden the 7-pin falls forward. And a nice break here for Sean Rash. Watch this, 7-pin. I'm not sure what.
What actually hit it? Yeah.
I'm not sure what hit it, but there was a collection. I think it was a rave that was going on behind the 7-pin, and somebody kind of fell forward into it.
I thought I heard some
Yeah,
music back there.
It was a rave.
Good
Not really.
bass, some nice bass beats.
Not really sure what a rave is, but I think it's a gathering of people.
It is, yes.
Okay.
Good, yeah. Not us again.
And, you know, Sean's been battling a little sore wrist for a while and probably just caught a little twinge, and there you go. You could see it just unhinging at the top of the swing. Love the rosin on the side of the pant leg. That's just kind of our version of being a gladiator. It's like a lineman that's dirty. You know, a lineman in the NFL that's just jerseys full of blood and dirt.
10 in the pit, 10 in the pit.
Brooklyn
That worked.
scratches the head, but hey, strike's a strike, I guess.
Well, that ball read awful early, and I'm not sure about location, but this ball starts to go left about halfway down the lane, about right there. That's a huge, huge break. And let's see how that affects E.J. Tackett. Hey, just some unbelievable pin carry for him today. You know, you talk about some of the messengers he had, but
Yeah.
let's look at some of the pocket hits that haven't struck, like this one.
Wow.
I mean, that wasn't all that different than Sean's shot on that lane. And E.J. leaves the 7-pin.
Randy, has he missed the pocket?
Last game, he went high a couple times.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Right at the end.
In the middle of the
Or
game.
middle, yeah.
And then game 1, he missed in the second frame, and that's pretty much it. But quite honestly, if you were to ask me if I thought his carry was good in any of today or tonight rather, I would say no.
Okay. Back on the strike.
Well, great execution on this shot coming off of a bad break. You can see how much wider his angles are and how much more open he is than Sean Rash. And I think that Sean has to give away the pocket a little bit, create a little bit more angle. See if he takes advantage of that great break.
Come on, one time. Yeah.
He does.
That looked like his best ball in 14. And now with a triple going to 8.
Well, don't look now, sports fans, but we're all tied up through 7. $20 out to about 10. Yeah, this is going to be a telling shot here. Sean has to finish on this lane. EJ's wired in.
for 4 in a row. Yes, he's got it.
Yeah, and that was flawless execution there, and then the 6-spin going to the sidewall and taking the 10 out. Exactly what you want to have happen when you're a right-hander, but you can see how much more room that one has. Now, E.J. Tackett can strike out for 258. Sean Rash max score 258. Left, and it laid there. Wow. There's the look, too. He knows it.
Another look.
The last match came down to the 10th frame, and it was determined by pin carry. We'll see if this match, the title match, turns into the same type of game. But right now, E.J. Tackett has to strike here in order not to be shut out by Sean Rash.
E.J. Tackett needing the strike.
He just got a little bit of what Sean Rash had when he went Brooklyn, and that's the transition. And unfortunately for E.J., it transitioned into going high. This looks like the direction's pretty good, and then it reads. Sean Rash had the exact same thing happen to him in the 6th frame. Sean was fortunate enough to cross all the way over and carry a Brooklyn strike.
Tackett, a little bit of loft there to get that spare. But as you mentioned, Randy, Sean in control.
Strike here and a strike at first ball in the 10th. Sean Rash is your winner. Big shot. 9 spare, we're tied going into the 10th.
Come on, one time. Yeah. Woo!
There's one.
First ball strike in the 10th, Sean Rash wins title number 12. And you're going to have to look back. If he strikes, you're going to have to look back at the Brooklyn in the 8th and EJ's huge tap in the 6th frame. Yeah. And that's the difference in this match. You give EJ a strike in the 6th, he's got a 6-bagger. But you know what? It's the beauty of the sport.
It's bowling. Yep.
Sean certainly has had it go the other way plenty of times. He's been on the other end for the win.
Carry.
And Sean Rash is your 2017 Gene Carter's Pro Shop Classic champion.
Well, he still has to stay behind the foul line and keep it on the lane. But I think he could probably handle that. And this was a gorgeous shot for the money. You can't throw it any better. And Sean Rash just quietly went about his business today. And then tonight, a huge break. Got off to a bad start.
There it is.
It took advantage.
Beauty. He had a solid day yesterday, and then, of course, this morning, in the cashers round and then into the match play, especially late, Randy, he really came on to get that number 1 seed.
Well, he was able to masterfully work his way, weave his way through a very tough oil pattern and manipulate his bowling ball to strike more than the rest of the field. And that's why he was your number 1 seed. He got a huge break in the 8th, but you know what? He made great shots in the 9th and 10th frame to seal the deal.
First titles in 2017. as EJ Tackett will finish it off here, and Randy will go down. Interview our champion, Sean Rash, as EJ Tackett has one more to go. EJ Tackett will continue with the lead in the Storm Cup, as that will move over to Ohio next week, the final round in Ohio next week.
How about a nice round of applause for your champion here, Sean Rash. Well, I can't say that it's been a while for you because you won back-to-back last year, but you know, it's been a long enough period of time. Sean, take us through that title match and what happened when you went Brooklyn on the left lane.
Well, just first of all, I want to say thanks to Mid-County Lanes and everybody here, especially great ball in the EJ. He's our player of the year. This guy's been unbelievable, and this guy's going to be a big champion for a long time. So great ball in EJ. To the other guys too, making the show. It's a grind, but the Brooklyn shot was slow. I grabbed it and looked at Chuck and said, I better move an arrow, and that's what I did. And fortunate enough for me, my eyes were a little farther left than EJ's on that lane, and was able to push, and you saw his go high there in the, I don't know, whatever, 9th frame. So threw some good ones when I needed it, and it never gets old throwing them good when you need it.
What'd you think about when you got up in the 9th and 10th frame, knowing a strike in the 9th and a strike in the 10th sealed the deal?
Well, anytime you have the ball in hand and you can come through, it's priceless. You know, winners want the ball, and I've wanted the ball ever since I started. So,
talk about what this day has been like. You guys started at 9 o'clock. Got about, let's see, 17 games for you for the entire day. Physically and mentally, what does that do to a player out here?
Well, it's just a grind. We've been traveling around the country for this Xtra Frame Storm Cup. Big thanks to Storm for the money they've put into this tour. But for me personally, I'm about 75–80%. I came down with a sinus infection last Sunday, didn't bowl the finals in Virginia. Big thanks to the Allen family. They took care of me. I miss some friends in Virginia. They fed me soup and medicine, and I didn't think I was going to bowl. I actually called Russ, and we had some clinics and said, hey, I might not bowl, and I'm just not feeling good. But feeling better now.
Well, I know we're glad you bowled. I know everybody here is glad you bowled. Congratulations on title number 12, Sean.
Thank you. Thanks, Randy. Thank you, guys.
We're going to turn it over now to tournament director and your Eastern Regional Director, Russ Mills. Russ, I know you got some hardware and some cash for this guy. Take it away.
Thank you, Randy. I'd like to bring out at this time, first of all, our proprietor, our good friend Kim Bowers. Kim, will you please come out? And the namesake of our event, the operator here of the Pro Shop, Mr. Gene Carter Sr. Gene? And this time we'd like to present the trophy and the check for $15,000. And Sean, I will give you a smaller check that you can cash a little bit later. And absolutely beautiful and unique trophy. Again, thank you to all of you. Congratulations.